Welcome back.
Hi everybody.
Guys, it's been a hot minute. So has
What does that even mean?
hot minute, like, been a while.
Oh.
24/7,
Okay.
I guess. But we did our reading early this morning. Our dog went missing last
Again?
night.
Ended up at
And
a house
then he ended
with
up at the neighbours.
pit bulls,
Yeah.
but very friendly. And our dog is tiny as.
Here's a puppy. Here's a puppy. Maybe he's a bit over Snoop. I don't know. But he looked really like, oh my gosh. I know I shouldn't have gone anywhere, but he went up and did it again.
Did it again, even though he plays guilty, but he just goes off again.
And he looks at us like...
You do that again, SJ, I'm going to take you to SPCA myself. Let's talk about our reading today.
Let's talk about our reading. I found chapter 24 very...
Genesis chapter 24.
Yeah, 66 verses. And he goes into real attention to detail about Abraham's wish for Eliezer to find a wife for Isaac.
Making him swear an oath.
Yeah.
The old school way, putting your hand under the thigh. Hey, I'll do that now. Are you going to act like Sarah from now on? Are you going to model your behaviour after Sarah towards your husband?
This is the old covenant.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so beautifully portrayed. Like, I use my imagination of what that would look like, because she sees him from a distance and she's like, who's that man in the field? And Eliezer says, oh, that's, Isaac.
Well, there was a lot that went on before that, though, of course.
Yeah.
So, swearing an oath, Eliezer, to go and to find a wife in where he stayed formerly, which was Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
And then the servant...
And he said, no, do not go and find, do not send Isaac to his family. He was really strict on that.
And then Eliezer saying, okay, what if I get there, find someone and she doesn't come back with me? And Abraham going, okay, then I will release you of this oath.
Yeah.
And so he travels with this group and he ends up at a well just outside the city. Naharaim, Ava Naharaim, I think it was called, that place.
Yeah.
And he was praying in his heart, this is beautiful, praying in his heart, okay, whoever comes out and offers me water as well as waters for the camel, then that must be the one. And then before he finished speaking in his heart, the word says, Rebecca turned up and he went out to her, asked her, oh, please, can you give me some water? She said yes. And then she said, I'll get some water for the camels too. And then it's like, oh, that's the one. And so he put a ring in her nose, and bracelets, gold bracelets. And then they went back and she was telling all of the household. And then it's interesting because she mentions her mother, but then the rest of the interaction is with Laban and his wife, Bethuel. So that was pretty cool. And then recounting the whole interaction. And then Bethuel talking about, well, I can't say yes or no. This is definitely of the Lord.
Yeah, and then them wanting to spend time with Rebecca
10 days.
And Eliezer was like, no, I need to get back home. Please send me on my way, sort of thing. But he blessed them with all sorts of treasure.
Jewellery, cattle,
sheep, cattle,
stuff.
And all that. Camels,
I think. And then they asked Rebecca, do you want to go with this man? And she said yes. And so they went back to his master's homeland.
Yeah.
And then the most beautiful part at the end of this chapter, dear, like they were riding back, and at that time Isaac was doing some meditating in the evening, and she happened to look up, and in her eyes she saw Isaac from a distance. No, saw Isaac from a distance and asked Eliezer, who's that? Okay, so that's my master Isaac. And then she put a veil on, and then he saw her, and then he took her back to his mother's tent. And I love what it says at the end of this chapter, that Rebecca brought Isaac comfort after the loss of his mother. Oh, it's beautiful.
But I thought it was quite significant, like 66, the number 66 verses. But there's also 66 books. And,
nice.
That and it's a complete books, or you could say there's a spiritual meaning behind it as well. But I just thought when you read it, beautiful, just a beautiful picture of God taking his time in this chapter, and wanting to really build the narrative. It was a lovely narrative.
I love Eliezer and the picture of a servant, and how, because it says at the beginning of the chapter how Abraham is getting old in age, but just goes to show the loyalty of his servant, who happened to be the oldest servant of his household.
Yes.
So to me it talks about how his trustworthiness, and of course the loyalty to Abraham. It was beautiful. Yeah,
it's most beautiful. Anyway, that was us reading this morning, and then our prayer. Again, praying for our kids, their destinies, their futures, the grandkids, blessing each other. I lay hands on him, he lays hands on me, and
she different from sit on my lap.
Different from our usual. I found it really meaningful to do it together. We won't probably do our next exercise tonight, because I'll be home late because I've got work.
I might go and do something by myself, so we can.
What are the chances?
What are the chances? It's about 80%.
How? I've got the car.
Yeah, but I don't have to actually go on. There's stuff in the garage that I can do. I can do a Grow with Joe walking session myself, so I don't actually...
I don't know if you will, but...
necessarily... I will. I don't know why you're questioning me.
That's why I didn't wait for him yesterday. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the dogs for a walk and not wait for him, because he'll get home whenever.
But then when I asked you about modelling after Sarah, he goes, well, that's Old Testament.
I'm me, you're you.
Okay.
We're all on the bridge, believing.
You just need to jump off that bridge in faith that, trust and obey, like the old hymn.
Yeah, okay.
And, praying for your kids. It can seem quite
just
mundane.
Talking about that.
Can seem quite mundane.
Just talking about that.
But daily, dear, we just continue to pray, to commit to prayer, the Lord.
Yeah.
And again,
Brian didn't want to come to the teacher's interview today with
bus
about
driver,
summer.
once more.
And he's like, what is the point? What is the point? I was like, decide that. We just play our part. So when you've got children that are just not even listening, you got to pray into what you want to see. So I just
praise the Lord for a graceful wife, because to me it's like,
I was like, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
A final
drop
year,
yeah. It can be a bit, tedious trying to, lift them up and go, you know what, we've got to say what we've got to see, what we want to see. Because we can always go to the negative, which is what I learned in parenting. If we keep seeing the negative, that's pretty much what we're going to see as in reap. So yeah, bless everybody. That was chapter 24 done. It's going well. We're halfway there. Can you believe it?
Well, we're halfway tomorrow.
Halfway tomorrow,
so that's good.
Yo. Okay, bye.
Bless you guys. Change the world.